The story of the talking donkey is one of the more unusual and fascinating accounts in the Bible. It is found in the book of Numbers. For readers, it helps to know the setting before diving into the event itself. The Israelites had been wandering in the wilderness after leaving Egypt and were nearing the land that God promised them. As they moved closer to Moab, the king of Moab named Balak became very nervous because he had seen how the Israelites defeated other nations with the help of their God. Balak feared that Israel would destroy his own people, so he wanted to find a way to stop them. Instead of fighting them directly, he decided to use a spiritual method. He sent messengers to a man named Balaam, who was known for having spiritual insight and for pronouncing blessings or curses that people believed had great power. Balak asked Balaam to come and curse Israel so that Moab might have a chance to defeat them. At first, Balaam did not go with the messengers because he asked God. God told him not to go with them since Israel was a blessed people. When Balak sent more important officials with promises of great rewards, Balaam asked God again. This time God told Balaam that if the men came to summon him, he could go, but only if he did exactly what God told him to do. Early the next morning, Balaam saddled his donkey and went with the Moabite officials. This is where the story takes a dramatic turn. The Bible explains that God was angry with Balaam because his heart was not fully obedient. Even though God had allowed him to go, Balaam's intention was leaning toward pleasing Balak for reward rather than fully trusting God. So as Balaam rode his donkey down the road, the angel of the Lord stood in the way to oppose him. Balaam could not see the angel. The donkey, however, did see the angel standing in the road with a drawn sword. Out of fear, the donkey turned off the path into a field. Balaam became angry and beat the donkey to get her back on the road. Then the angel of the Lord stood in a narrow path between two vineyards with walls on both sides. When the donkey saw the angel, she pressed close to the wall, crushing Balaam's foot. Once more Balaam became furious and struck the donkey. The angel moved ahead a third time and stood in a very narrow place where there was no room to turn either to the right or the left. When the donkey saw the angel once more, she simply lay down under Balaam. Now Balaam was enraged, and he beat the donkey with his staff. It is at this moment that something extraordinary happened. The Lord opened the donkey's mouth, and she spoke to Balaam. She asked, "What have I done to you to make you beat me these 3 times?" Balaam, instead of being shocked into silence as one might expect, actually answered the donkey. He said that she had made a fool out of him and that if he had a sword, he would kill her. The donkey then reminded Balaam that she had been his faithful animal for many years and had never acted this way before. Balaam admitted that she had never done this in the past. Then the Lord opened Balaam's eyes, and he finally saw what the donkey had seen all along. He saw the angel of the Lord standing in the road with a large sword drawn. Balaam immediately bowed down and fell face down before the angel. The angel asked why Balaam had beaten his donkey 3 times, explaining that the donkey had actually saved his life. The angel said that if the donkey had not turned aside those times, he would have killed Balaam and spared the donkey. Balaam confessed his sin and offered to turn back, but the angel told him to go on with the men but to speak only the words that God would give him. From that point on, Balaam became more careful with what he said, and the story continues with him blessing Israel instead of cursing them, even though Balak was deeply frustrated by this. This story shows several important lessons. First, it teaches that God sees what we do not see. Sometimes He even uses unexpected ways to protect us or to get our attention. In this case, he used a humble donkey to save Balaam's life and to show him the seriousness of his mission. Second, the story shows that obedience to God is more important than personal gain or reward. Balaam's struggle was that he wanted to please Balak and benefit from his offer of riches, but God reminded him that his will could not be changed. Third, it shows that God can use even the most unusual or surprising methods to deliver a message. If he can make a donkey speak to protect Balaam, he can certainly guide and direct our lives in ways we might not expect. The talking donkey is not just a strange tale, but a reminder of God's power, His protection, and His desire for us to obey Him wholeheartedly. It encourages readers to consider whether they are listening for God's direction or maybe stubbornly pushing ahead in their own way. For adults who are just beginning to read the Bible, it is also a good reminder that the scriptures contain many layers mixing history, miracles, and moral lessons that are just as meaningful today as they were thousands of years ago. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this story and want to hear more Bible explanations in simple and clear language, please subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more.